Hey, good morning. Welcome to Coaching with Connie. I'm Connie Fuksa. And, a lot of times I try to come to you and talk to you guys about some motivational things, some ideas and processes on how to move things forward, how to share information, how to be the better you, how to work through struggles that you have. But today specifically, I wanted to talk about something that I wanted to change. In February, I really want to do a focused February. So really focusing on details about things that we do talk about and how to do certain processes. Instead of talking about feelings and overall thoughts, I really wanted to talk about some specific processes. And so with doing that, today I really wanted to start off. I know today's January 31st, tomorrow's February 1st, but I'm starting today because I just really feel strongly about the fact that, we really need to, you talk about January jumpstart in the beginning of the year and making all of these resolutions or changes. And I've talked about this a lot about doing, just 30-day increments of goals. But here's what I want to do in February. We're going to start really digging into those things and talk about processes, things that you guys ask me about all the time that we really need to dig into a little bit more, because I really wanted to get involved and I really want to fine tune what you guys are doing. So what I wanted to start out with is, I get a lot of conversation. A lot of people talk to me about doing a Facebook Live or doing videos and why it's important. And so we're going to talk about that for a second, but then we're going to talk about how to figure out what your topics look like. And we're going to do some series on this. So if you missed this or you follow it on the replay, hit replay and give me a heart. If you're watching live, give me a couple hearts just so I know that you're watching, and I really appreciate you tuning in. But also so I know that we're giving you good information. And then the other thing is knowing that we're going to do sort of a series kind of thing we're going to keep building on. So if you're watching today, make sure that you're paying attention as we go through, either in the blog that comes out. We always transcribe what we talk about on the video, so if you'd rather read it. But I'm also doing the videos, I'm going to stack them. So we're going to stack it a little bit so you have information that feeds into the next piece. So today we're really going to talk about how do I even get started? How do I even know? And the first thing is, people are going to say, well, I don't own a business or I don't run a business, so I don't need to do this. And that's absolutely not true. Here's what I want you to think about first. Have you ever heard of social influencers? It's a real common term right now. Of course, I didn't say it correctly. Social influencers. I didn't say that correctly. A little bit of congestion like everybody's going through. But what I wanted you to understand is, even if you're not in the know about being on social media and things like that, social influencers are nothing more than people that think something is cool and they talk about it. So we've been doing this for hundreds of years, right? So if you go to Lowe's and you have a really great experience, then you're going to tell everybody gosh, I love going to Lowe's because their customer service is off the chart. There's this one lady, her name's Jean. You got to see her. She always is just pulling me around by my hand to show me the things that I need to know. That's the social influencer. That is the referral source, word of mouth referral. A social influencer does nothing more than do that online. So you're a referral source when you find something's really good. You went to an amazing restaurant. The food was fantastic. The service was fantastic. And so all you want to do is tell everybody about it. So you're the referral source because it's just a natural progression. And the only difference is a social influencer does it online. So here's what I want to do. I want you to think for a second about the fact that word of mouth referral is so powerful. So if you wanted to try something, I see people all the time on Facebook asking for recommendations. So those recommendations are exactly that. They're referrals from people that you know and you trust, right? That you love. They always say know, like, and trust. You work with people that you know, like, and trust. So you're going to follow thoughts from people and referrals from people that you know, like, and trust, right? So if your sister says, you always have to go to Lone Star Steakhouse, and you have to go to this one, and you have to see Wilbur. He's the best server in all of the whole town. He's amazing, and he goes so above and beyond. He even entertains you a little bit, and so that's where you got to go, Longhorn Steakhouse, and see Wilbur, right? So you're now curious. So you got to go and you got to see Wilbur, right? So that's the only difference between that and being the social influencer is online. You're talking about it online. So here's what I want to do is I want you to start thinking. I want to transfer your mind to thinking, all of those things that you feel really strong about. And, maybe you get on and talk about the restaurant that you like to go to or the server that you really like. But here's what I really want you to talk about is that thing that you're super passionate about. And it doesn't have to be about work. And you can have several of those super passionate things. I'm listening to a book right now, and I know I share that with you guys all the time, but Marie Forleo, and it's Everything is Figure Outable. It's an amazing book. But one of the things she talks about is being able to share information on lots of topics. So she was struggling for a long time because she felt like everybody says, oh, find your passion. What's your passion? Maybe it's teaching. Maybe it's working on cars. Maybe it's real estate. Well, find your passion and then you'll be really good at it. And she was struggling because she had so many different things that she felt really strongly about. So basically, she decided to consider herself a multi-passionate entrepreneur. And so that means she can follow several different things. She likes to teach dance. She likes to be a life coach. She loves fashion. And so she likes to share about all these different things. So when I talk to you about sharing something, I'm not necessarily talking about find out what that one thing is. Oh my God, it's the thing that's saving the world. You may be really good at something right now, but maybe it's not the thing that lights you up, lights your hair on fire, makes you want to run around and just blab it to everybody. What is that thing right now that's making you set your hair on fire? And that's what I want you to talk about. So maybe it's the nonprofit that you're working for. Maybe it's something that you see that's a struggle in the world that you've done some research on and you have some ideas about. Maybe it's something going on in your family that you figured out that all the rest of us could work with. Maybe it's you figured out how to use a little Tupperware container to do something totally different that none of us even understand. That's what I want you to share. Because if you were standing in front of one of your best friends and you found out about Wilbur at Longhorn Steakhouse, you're going to tell her about it. Now, again, you can talk about all those different things and that's wonderful, but here's what I really want you to talk about is that thing right now that's just lighting your hair on fire. So when you think that you have nothing to say, what I want you to think about is, what is that thing? Like if you're really into classic cars right now, you've been doing all kinds of research, I want you to get on live and talk about it. Because yeah, we can Google things. Yeah, we can look up YouTube. But I'd much rather hear from you, my friend, that has discovered something in the real estate business that maybe could help me. You found a stumble. Now, yeah, I want you to share your open houses because that's your business. But what I really want you to share and everybody else wants to see is, what did you find out that I haven't been able to find out from anybody else? Or that maybe I didn't even know I was looking for? When I had my business and I sold a little over a year ago, what I started doing was sharing the nuggets of information that were in my head that I finally realized that you guys just don't know. And I had so much engagement and so many people involved, and I loved it because you guys really wanted to know this information. It was little nuggets of things that didn't necessarily pertain to title. It did in a way, but it was things we would discover along the way. So this is the kind of thing I want you to share. If you love working on classic cars, tell us something that we don't know, that you may have discovered while you learned how to work on classic cars. Maybe not everybody's going to be following it, and that's okay. Who cares? Maybe you're not going to do it perfectly. If you do it perfectly the first time, you've made a mistake and you should have been doing this a long time ago. But what I really want you to do is feel like you're talking to your friend. Pick up your cell phone and feel like you're talking to your friend and share that discovery with all the rest of us, because we need to know it. And YouTube is a great place. It's a great place to find information and descriptions and education of things and how to do stuff. But I don't want to go search it. I want my friend to get online and tell me what they discovered, because it can enrich my life, whatever that is. And you may not think it's important, and so many other people think it's so important. Like I shared, when I was running that business and I couldn't figure out why people didn't want to understand about title, because it's so important, but it didn't speak to them. And so what I started doing is talking about things that I knew about through my title business that I discovered or I learned that I was able to help you guys with. And everybody started talking and asking me questions, because then it brought up things that they didn't understand, but they didn't know they needed to know. But once they know, they're like amazed, right? So I want you to start thinking about, what are the things that you run across in the most passionate thing that you love? Is it fashion? Is it sewing? Is it baking? Is it working on cars? Is it being on your boat and learning about being in the water, and what you have to do at certain nuances going through the water? I mean, if you see something in the water, what do? If you see those little bobber things in the water, what are those? You can share all that kind of stuff. If you're going really fast and you come up against this buoy that says 5 miles, you have to slow down to 5 miles per hour. Why? A lot of people don't know these things. Yeah, you can take the boater safety course and you can learn. But what I'm talking about is you guys sharing things that you feel really strongly about. You're a crabber, you're a waterman, you do roof repairs. Tell us something that we need to know that we don't know about your expertise or that you love. That's how you figure out what you want to talk about. And it doesn't matter if nobody's watching. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I do lives all out throughout the day because I did a lot of research to try to figure out what time I think was better that you guys were watching, and it didn't matter. Because what happens is you guys can see this all over anywhere you want to see it, and then when you add a little bit of hashtags, people can search it, and that gets a little bit more involved. But people watch what they want to watch from whom they want to see. And you guys have so much good information. Be that social influencer because I want to hear what you know. I don't know what you know, and I don't know what you've discovered, and it's probably going to save me money or time or a whole lot of heartache if you share it with me. Or I'm just going to get some super cool enjoyment because I love seeing you so happy. So that's how I figure out how I want you guys to figure out what I want you to talk about, and I want you to start sharing right away. If you're really uncomfortable doing live, then record it on your phone. Now, you promise me that when you record it on your phone, you don't go back and look at it before you post it. Because if you do, then you're not giving us the most genuine you. And I want to see the most genuine you. I want to see the you that coughs and is stuffy or doesn't look right at the camera or shoos their cat away because they're in the room. Whatever that thing is, I want to see that because that's the most genuine you, and that's the person I know, like, and trust. So I want you to share something that none of the rest of us know. I give you 48 hours to do that. I want to see you all online right away telling me something that I don't know because you're going to help my life be better. And I love seeing you guys happy and sharing your super cool passions. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope I gave you just a little piece of maybe something to think about. Give me some hearts just to let me know that you're on and that you appreciate it and that you guys are getting something out of what we're talking about. And I just hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Enjoy your weekend. I'm Connie Fuksa. Thanks for tuning in to Coaching with Connie. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.